Hi there, I'm Gordon Salasidako, and this is Make It Legal. Today I'm in a very beautiful environment. You can see the environment. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Make it legal. This is my alma mater. It is KNUST. I'm excited to be here, but it's not so much about the school. I want to draw your attention to something I need you to watch. Somewhere last month, I had the opportunity to participate in an interview where my colleagues and I discussed very important matters about doing business in Ghana with focus on business ethics. We discussed a lot of issues, including corporate social responsibility of companies and then companies doing business with ethical standards. I want you to take a look at the video. My team and I have put together excerpts of the video focusing on my contributions as a panel member on this program. Watch this video and then I'll be back to share a few highlights as well with you. Watch the video.
Good evening and welcome to the Law Chamber, where legal matters are discussed from a Christian perspective. My name is Anita-Delight. Our topic for today, doing business in Ghana, corporate Ghana, and business ethics. So let me introduce my guest. So the only gentleman in our midst, he goes by the name Gordon Salasidako. I hope I got the name right.
You got it so right.
He's a lawyer. He's a managing attorney of the law office of Elisa Kumadi. The law office of Elisa Kumadi. But the most important thing is he specializes in corporate commercial land disputes, ADR, corporate and business advisory transactions. So you can see the corporate and business advisory. This is his field, right? And he's a director for company secretary of a number of construction companies in Ghana. So when it comes to company secretary for construction,
so any issue about corporate and secretarial services and how they interrelate to the law, all of that.
Oh, Charlie, so I come for the simple. What did you just say? Because frankly speaking, I don't understand what you said.
So companies, and when it comes to anything having to do with the secretary administrative concerns of the company, how that relates with the law, how the requirements of law expect the company to operate administratively in business, all of that is an area of focus on.
Okay, so like the board like this, you be their secretary, you be helping them.
Yes, you're required to file annual returns, to comply with companies' acts. If you are just a business person who is not a lawyer, you don't appreciate all of those things. But as a company secretary who is a lawyer, you get a good assistance from a lawyer.
Simple. And I think the company has also specified it should be a lawyer or chartered accountant.
Yes,
or
lawyer.
Yeah, so
yes.
It helps. When we talk about corporate social responsibility, what does it mean? Like, what do we mean by that?
Okay, so let's get it from this perspective. Okay. Now, when we talk about corporations or corporate entities, they are companies that are established to do business. So these guys are out there seeking to make profit from their business. And that is the reason they were established by law. But society expects certain things of them. Maybe you produce gas, and the same environment you produce the gas, you are polluting it. Society expects you to be concerned about the harm you cause society. So if you take a responsibility to help the society by taking portions of your income to sort of resolve the harm created by your company, then you are socially responsible. And by that, you have incorporated social responsibility in your business profile. Then you are engaged in CSR.
So what if I'm not causing any harm? Then it means I shouldn't do anything?
Yes, so you are not going to intervene when you cause the harm. It could be harm created by your company or by other company or by persons who are not even companies. So it's an intervention program by a company to support society.
But you said the business is supposed to make money. Why will I want to intervene as a business? That will decrease my profit. What is it?
Yeah, so there's a history behind it.
Okay.
You know, history tells us that somewhere in the 20th century, companies were becoming too big, too powerful, and too influential. And, you know, even in our age, you could see companies are so big. You could talk about Elon Musk. This guy has a company that many people have subscribed to his ideology. You could even tell there are billions who subscribe to, say, X as a concept or a business idea than people who subscribe to religion as a concept. So they are powerful. should they still remain people who are just making business and becoming too powerful? So the pressure compelled them to want to help society.
Okay.
So this is the history behind it. So they've taken upon themselves to be part of the solutions that the society needs. You know, on the subject of whether or not laws really are there to regulate it, to make it mandatory for a company to do it by all means. Like for Ghana, we don't have that yet, like she rightly said. We don't have a legislation established for that. But I recall somewhere 2021, there was a move by 9 parliamentarians, just this current parliament. They tabled a motion that parliament should consider enacting legislation to regulate CSR in Ghana.
Good.
Yeah, and people have actually, people fought against it. I know it was not proper. That's not a practice we should encourage. That minority leader at the time, Haruna Dusu, made a popular statement people often quote. He said, you cannot legislate generosity. And that was his argument, opposing such a move. Countries like India have it in their Companies Act that as a company, you have to spend at least 2% of your income in the preceding 3 years on CSR activities. UK also has some regulation in the Companies Act that impose obligation on the company to ensure that its operations do not have any negative impact on the community and the environment. For me, that is also CSR concern. And we have a similar provision in our Companies Act too. So although we don't have a clear legislation that regulates everything, there are some provisions in certain acts here and there that require you to do something done to harm society or to rather advance societal good to be concerned
Why
about.
don't we try and bring all these together in one book form where, because if someone will tell you that laws that don't bite, they are useless. So
like,
you have everything.
Like someone said, it's generosity, I want to give
No,
you.
there's no generosity.
No,
we'll take it out of generosity and say responsibility.
Okay.
Because you are making so much money, give back.
I think it's an argument we can push for. And those who support it, as we speak for it, people are actually against it. It depends on who makes the argument.
So what are you thinking about? Are you for or against? You should be for. Can we mention some of the practical ways companies can really give back to society? Some of the ways.
Okay, so because this is going to be done by a company, as a lawyer, I'm concerned about the procedure.
Okay.
The how.
Okay.
Now, company makes a decision to do things.
Okay.
So the decision of the company is often by its resolution. And there are 3 organs the company makes a decision by. It could be the members, or the shareholders at general meetings, or it could be the managing director, or it could be the board. So either of these organs could make a decision that, we have seen this thing happen in the community. We have seen this orphanage home. They need this provision. Let's allocate 5% of this income of this year to buy ABCD to help them. Now, we've been part of this community. There's a road that leads to the main road. It has been in the Deplorable state for many years. Let's decide that we're going to have 1% of our income for 5 years allocated towards it to help government to put it up. These are some of the ways we can be socially responsible as a company. And it will be as little as sometimes, looking at a need of society and coming in to help. It may not always be an emergency, an act of God should happen. It could be, like I spoke about the orphanages, it could be maybe education you want to promote in the community. It could be a school for the community. You could actually get polytanks for them. You could make life better off. You could actually provide security system, build a police station at the area for them. These are some of the ways you could be responsible. There's a police station around the Okadako, and that's how it was built by the company. And it's a very decent police station. That's a company that has decided to expand its operation and said that, I'm not just going to focus on myself and my business. I'm going to ensure that the environment I'm operating is secure. So I put a police station there.
That's beautiful.
And government provide the personnel to man it. And then you have to help society. So that is socially responsible as a company. I mean, these are very practical ways we can actually do this. There's a researcher, Dr. Mavis Amomensa, reviewed about 61, academic papers in Ghana on CSR. And he concluded that it is a corporate self-regulated practice. So that it's just a concept that is voluntary, done by companies, they regulate themselves. So it's always an internal policy. So if you want to get an employee's salary to do some of those things, get them to agree. Approval. Should be voluntary.
So with the persons living with disabilities, it's not just doing them a favor. You really have tax rebates, don't you?
You do.
No, you do. What are some of them?
Yes. So in fact, we should actually look at who a person is with disability is in the
Yes.
first place.
Very
I think that is oftentimes confused. There's a legislation we have in Ghana, law in Ghana, which is Person with Disability Act 2006. That law defined person with disability to mean a person who, has deficiency either mentally, physically, or in some of the sense organs. It could be the visual one, it could be hearing. And by reason of these deficiencies, they are limited in certain cultural and normal functional lifestyle. So when you employ someone who cannot see, you don't put him at a place where he has to be seeing the things to do it. Even if he has to be seeing the things to do it, then you need to make provision for their tools that they can use to perceive things without having to physically look at it. So number one, you need to make the environment conducive for them to be able to work. Then you are also doing society a favor by not considering their disability and inability to work. So you employ them, give the opportunity to work, and the government also encourages you by giving you a tax relief for employing such a person.
You get tax reliefs.
On it, you do. In fact, it's actually in two dimensions. The person who is himself a disabled person and engaging in some sort of business or earns an income, either from employment or from business, also entitled to a relief, personal relief on that income. In other words, if he earns, say, 1,000 and he's supposed to pay maybe 25% of that as tax to the government, government says that we're giving 25% relief. So no matter you can declare it, but you won't give it to us. You keep it with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then to the companies, do they get 25%?
They get 25%.
So why are people not employing persons with disabilities?
People are not aware. And that is where, for me, I'm excited at what you do here at the Law Chambers with your team. You're educating people about the laws of Ghana. And that is something that is lacking. Imagine yourself a few years back, before you became a lawyer. What did you not know? And the day you got to know things that you knew as a lawyer, you were like, oh, God, people are ignorant indeed.
Yeah.
And some of us have taken to ourselves to educate the public. And we celebrate what we do. So people are not aware. How many people know there are laws for disabilities that outline a lot of requirements to make their life conducive and comfortable in the community?
All things being equal, a building should be accessible.
That is all we know. That's all we know. There's more.
It's not even accessible.
It's not even accessible. The problem. As a nation, we seem to have beautiful laws that we do not always implement.
Shouldn't what is right or wrong be dictated by the community? So the community you find out, let's say Ghana, you come and do business in Ghana, and these are our values. So you go with it. Or you try to interpose your culture there, here, and then you force it down. So which of the ethics are we looking at? Are we looking at the country, community within which the business operates, the owners' ethics, personal ethics, religious? How are we looking at it? But there should be because all things being equal, if today business goes to steal, we all know it's wrong.
Yeah.
If a business, and those are governed by law.
The concept of ethics is one that is oftentimes not a one-way issue. When you say morally accepted standard, whose morals? And who is accepting it? Yeah, who is making it acceptable? Ghanaians, Christians in Ghana, Muslims in Ghana.
Majority.
And all these things develop over time because of practices. If you've done it over time, society perceives that it is wrong, it is right, then they take the right one to be an ethical issue. For example, even as a lawyer, which law tells us that when you go to court every day, bow to the judge before you sit down? No law, actually. So there is that practice to respect the courts, be courteous to the judge. So you do it.
See.
And when you don't even do it, it's like they have a legal basis. They probably have a legal basis to challenge you, And you just feel bad. And that is what we're talking about. If you are dishonest in business, it's an ethical issue. You may be dishonest and it may not probably amount to
a criminal offense
yet, but it may lead there one day. But before it gets there, society wants to regulate it. Ethical issues are concerned about things that government may not be able to regulate all of them. But as an organization who is concerned about, the best of the company, you want to put certain policies in place to say that as a business, we do not cheat our client. When you walk into our office, a client needs to be addressed or to be attended to. We do not have a call in their presence. Or we don't. Some firms will tell
them,
you,
will show courtesy when need be.
Yeah, some firms will tell you that we don't allow clients to come and sit in our reception for more than 30 minutes because we want to respect them and save their time.
Yeah.
So some of these are just requirements of ethics.
Yeah.
And as a business person, ethics play a big role in your organization. It affects your brand. How people perceive the brand is a collection of the ethics you've accepted, which society also upholds to be best practices. People, you see, all ethical wrongs put together can actually have a legal consequence in the law of thought. It all depends on the lawyer who fights it for you.
Yeah.
It can always lead to it.
Yeah.
Because if you put waste of time together,
representation and all that,
yeah,
because obviously
you lied to me, you wasted my time, I put it together, I lost an income, I lost something, I lost opportunity. You have a claim in law.
Hey! You know what? All right. So wait, guys, I'm dealing with a company who states one thing and does another. I don't trust them. What should I do?
If you don't trust them, don't deal with them. You know, in business, trust is very important.
Sometimes you are in it already. Money has exchanged hands. The contract underway.
Would you want to continue till the end and realize that they are really not worthy of trust and all will go wrong? Or you want to stop there and take everything that you've lost back? So I often advise people that one of the things you should consider in hiring anybody, a lawyer, a business, you want to engage them, do you trust them enough with the service you want? If you don't trust them, don't give it to them. So if you don't trust the company, it's always safer for you not to deal with them. There are companies you can trust.
Those are verifications that should you try to abrogate the contract, what things when they call the verifications, there'll be.
Yeah, so I mean, it comes down to the terms of the contract. If there are room to terminate it, you can actually request to terminate it.
Pauline Anaman, that's my buddy Godwin and my smart colleague Niine.
Yes, my buddy.
Well done. Esther Ufoso-Hene says, very enlightening conversation from two of my favorite lawyers. Well done, Godwin and Niine. All right, so our final word. Godwin.
Anyway, now that I know I'm going to say it in local language, I will say something short.
That's kind of correct. Yes.
So we've been saying that all along we all believe and have always hold on to the belief that the business of the business is to do business. But we should also now be aware that beyond doing business, we have to help society. Society and a company are interdependent on each other. The people who come to work for you and get you the profit or the business are from the society. The suppliers come from there. You know, the environment you put your company as part of the community. Community talks about people, and the environment talks about outside your company. If there are no people there, what is there? The trees are there. The land is there. Take care of them. Devote part of your earnings to support the good of the society. I mean, that is a worthy cause. I guess your reward will be here on earth and in heaven as well. Okay, now let me tell my people in my local dialect.
Yes.
Okay, ke mi ato madogbe nami efie nami enye glomi le konye be e mi america le business wom alo dom le company adoma ehia be mi adupa be yok be the society anchi alo du komanchi mi na be du common na du de le mi ape nu owo me na mi po video be company a mi ko de mi akokpe de du komanchi mi na america jila malo shi okenye ofan so le duama mi kpeda wonchi nenye be amododo ke vatofi ke o company le manua kpeda government nchi na government na tenwa we nenye be mi wona na ma mi hoji sebe anyu na mi kata eduama anyu e mi ape do wa ha ayingogbe akpe.
I believe you've watched the video and you've seen all the ideas and then insight I have to share as far as corporate social responsibility is concerned. I mean, this is important for all businesses to take a look at. You need to be socially responsible as a company, and I hope that you've picked few lessons from this video. I want you to go out there as a business and be part of generating solutions that society needs. Government cannot do all of it. Even you cannot do all of it, but if one company and the other company comes together, we can all be socially responsible and ensure that society benefits from our gains as a business. I believe you pick few lessons from the video. Go out there and practice it. My name is Gordon Salasidapo, and this is certainly Make It Legal.
Make it legal.